Hey guys, welcome back. We are doing lesson 8. It's 6 in phonics. Let's get busy. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, let's get rid of all these hide floating bars and get it in present mode. All right, lesson 8. So our tips today, I can segment and blend two-syllable words. I can replace a noun with a pronoun, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, The Picnic by the River. So today we will review nouns and verbs and practice building sentences. So let's review. A person, place, or thing is a noun. A verb is an action word, like exercise, listen, read. So one way to build a sentence is to add adjectives. Adjectives are describing words. The red apple. Red describes apple. The sparkly notebook. Sparkly describes the notebook. The sad girl. Sad describes girl. And the round balloon. Round describes balloon. One way to build sentences is to add words called prepositions. Prepositions and phrases with prepositions add information about where something happens. This helps the reader understand and visualize what is taking place in the sentence. So let's read this sentence. Gus runs. What is this sentence about? Well, it's about Gus, right? He's the proper noun in the sentence. What does Gus do? He runs. Runs is the verb. So we have Gus runs. Gus being the proper noun, runs being the verb. Where does Gus run? Well, Gus runs to school. Gus runs to the bus stop, or Gus runs on the track team. Those are different ways we can write where Gus runs. So let's practice other simple sentences longer. Kate found a coin. What is this sentence about? About Kate, right? Kate, she's the proper noun. What did Kate find? She found a coin, right? Found is the verb there. So we have the proper Kate. We've got found being the verb. So what type of coin did Kate find? Well, we don't know that, do we? So that's where we could add the adjectives in there. Kate found an old Spanish coin. So what word did we add there? We added old and Spanish, and that describes the coin, right? Where did Kate find the coin? Well, we've got the proper noun Kate. We've got our verb found. Now we've added a prepositional phrase in the cave to our sentence. So now we've got Kate found an old Spanish coin in the cave. So it's much easier to form a picture of this sentence in your mind with this extra information added. Kate found a coin. Then we added some adjectives, old and Spanish, to where we have Kate found an old Spanish coin. Then we've added in the preposition, Kate found an old Spanish coin in the cave. All right, so let's practice with the following sentence. Axel visits the bookshop. Okay, so who is the sentence about? It's about Axel. What does Axel do? He visits, doesn't he? Where does he visit? The bookshop. Okay, let's number 2. Ted hops on one foot. What hops on one foot? Ted. So Ted is the proper noun. What does Ted do? He hops. That's the verb. How does he hop? On one foot. Number 3, Rod, Rod slopes on the ice. Who or what's the sentence about? Rod, okay. What does he do? I'm going to say, that doesn't make sense. I'm going to say slips. Slips is the verb there. Where does Rod slip? On the ice. Look at number 4. Ming slides to home base. Who or what is that sentence about? Ming. What does Ming do? She slides. Where does she slide? Home base. All right, our tricky spelling G. Ooh, we got 2 tricky sounds here with G. We've learned that some spellings can be pronounced more than one way. These are called tricky spellings. So let's review the tricky spelling for G. We have G is the first sound. So G is like in gum, glad, and dog. But then we also have the other side of G, which sounds like a J, like gem and germ. So when you come across the spelling G or J in a printed word that you do not already know, you should try pronouncing it with G as in gum. If that doesn't sound right or make sense, then flip it and try pronouncing it as J as in gem. So spelling alternatives. So let's review the J sound as in jump. Notice that power bar. It's not a very long one, but it's not a short one. It's J as in jump. So repeat that with me. J, J, J. Great job. Okay, then we've got the G up there, and it's got the J sound also, as in gym. Notice that power bar. It's not a long one, but it's not a short one either. So repeat that several times with me. J, J, J. Great job. Okay, we've also got another J sound spelled with G-E, fringe. Notice that power bar. It's not a long one here. So this isn't a very common spelling to see out. So repeat that with me. J, 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 fringe. All right, so we're going to reread The Picnic by the River. Let's get to our story. The Picnic by the River. Last summer, the Spencers had a picnic by the river. They had a picnic basket filled with food. It was stuffed with all sorts of good things: chicken wings, ham, grapes, chips, and cupcakes. Mr. Spencer set the picnic basket down. Grace and Jill went for a swim in the river. There they all are, Mom and Dad and Pepper and Grace and Jill. After their swim, the children raced back to the spot where the picnic basket was. When they got there, there were ants marching down the side of their picnic basket. The ants were marching off with some of the food. The Spencers had set their basket down next to the center of a big ant hill. Yikes! Shouted Grace in a loud voice. Who asked those ants to this picnic? Mr. Spencer picked up the picnic basket and brushed off the ants. Much of the food was in the plastic bags, so it was safe from the ants. Grace and Jill picked off the grapes after they brushed off the rest of the ants. There's Grace and Jill looking at the ants. The Spencers sat down and ate their picnic lunch. This time they sat far from the center of the ant hill. After lunch, Mr. Spencer asked, "Should we pack up our stuff and get back to the farm?" "Not yet," said Grace, and glanced back at the ant hill. She smiled and slipped some bits of cupcake and ham into her pocket. Then she ran to the anthill. She set the bits of cupcake and ham on the ground next to the anthill. There, she said, that will be lunch for the ants. I think ants are cool when not crawling on our basket. And there's Grace giving them some food. All right, so let's get back to our slide here. Okay, so we've got some worksheets to answer. What was in that picnic basket? Do you remember? Ooh, if you don't remember, go back to our story and find out what was in that picnic basket. I know I liked what was in their picnic basket. Where had the Spencers set down their picnic basket? Do you remember where they set it down at? Number 3, why was the food in the picnic basket safe from the ants? What had Mom and Dad done to the food before they went on that picnic? Number 4, what did Grace do for the ants at the end? Do you remember what she did? Okay, so let's take it back. Let me get rid of these bars again. Okay. So our learning targets, I can segment and blend 2-syllable words. I can replace a noun with a pronoun. I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story. The picnic by the river. I'm going to escape and stop sharing. All right, friends, guess what? It's the end of the lesson. I will see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, my friends.